Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah, and this is your horoscope for the week of January 29, 2017. Thank you for being here. What an exciting week it is. Well, every week holds the potential to be particularly exciting. This one is no exception. Before I take you forward with this, I want to take you back, or at least provide a little bit of context. There is a major configuration playing out now. Now, it is what astrologers call wide orbs. It doesn't exactly get exact with precision at all times between the three of them, but it is nonetheless playing out. It is a dance of the stars, of the planets, that is set to define and is defining this year of 2017. And that is between Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter. So all of these planets are in what we call cardinal signs. All of these planets are in signs that start a season. They tend to have a lot of energy behind them. These signs in particular tend to have a lot of initiative behind them as well, and a lot of connection to what we really feel. So we are accessing these archetypes from a particularly passionate place within us. What is taking place now as part of the collective? Of course, seeing lots of news, lots of questions coming from friends and fans out there about what's happening with the collective, how is it going to reach resolution and such. We are seeing this play out in the collective, the desire for change, the desire for freedom, the desire for self-knowledge and a more optimistic present and future, a desire for power. So all of that is playing out as part of the collective. And what is happening this week that is especially unique is that Mercury is activating this very configuration. Mercury will meet Pluto in the sky, will speak with Uranus and with Jupiter this week. So essentially this large conversation, this very defining conversation is going to come a lot more in our awareness, become something that more of us are talking about a whole lot more. Certainly is an energy that we can get caught up in if we allow. But at the same time, there's going to be a desire to discuss, to figure out, to share ideas. And also, of course, because Mercury does have to do with the media, we're going to see attention paid to the media. It isn't just going to be about what is happening and the media reporting it. That's part of it. But with Mercury moving through the sign of Capricorn, it is also going to be a focus of the conversation is also going to be what power the media actually has. On a more meta level, on a more spiritual level, what power do our conversations have? What power does our attention have? And what power the conversations that we have with ourselves, the messages that we tell ourselves, that we perceive, that we allow ourselves to take in, what power do they have on our minds and the developments of our minds, regardless of what age we may be? All of us in at least one area of life are going to become very aware of where it is that major change must happen, where it is that we're not happy with the way that things have been going, and we feel brave enough to have a fresh start of sorts. Now, this is going to take place depending on your sign in different areas of life, but meaningful nonetheless and sweeping nonetheless. Lots of beginning again energy, but lots of fresh perspective energy as well. And there's also this sense with Mercury meeting Pluto in the sky, there is this sense of understanding what chapter or what habit or what part of the way that we were is now over, and now where we're moving into a new future, a brave future, one of a new sense of independence at that. The other big thing taking place this week is Venus retrograde season. Yes, here it is. It starts again. So once every 18 months or so, Venus will go through a retrograde season, a retrograde cycle. And so it's starting now this week, and we will be in this retrograde cycle with Venus now entering shadow, and then the retrograde, and then the direct. All of this is set to happen between now and right into May is when the shadow period will be over. So this space, this spot where Venus is right now, is where she will return to in mid-April, where she's going to change directions again. With Venus retrograde, there are certain things that we can look to understand what this particular season is going to speak to, particularly for us as a collective. So some of the major conversations, some of the more important connections that are set to be made that involve this Venus retrograde season are with Chiron and Saturn. So both of these energies can be quite serious, right? These energies can be ones that have to do with a reality check of sorts, but also understanding ourselves and understanding love more deeply and understanding our barriers to love that much more deeply as well. The great thing about this particular Venus retrograde season is that we are going to get a chance as individuals in our own individual journey. Certainly, we are going to get a chance to really ask ourselves if we love him, her, it. What do we love? And if we don't love it, we will be willing to find a healthy closure. We will be willing to understand where it is that something has served its purpose, or where it is that we need to see ourselves more deeply and recommit to what it is that we know that we love. So this can be a powerful time of honesty, but it's also a very consequential time that is showing up now. Do pay attention to what takes place for you right now, this week, because it will reach further clarity, further culmination, further insight that really can make a big difference once we get you further down the road, particularly in mid-April of this year. So this is the beginning of the path that Venus will walk, starting towards the end of the sign of Pisces, and most of the Venus retrograde season will be spent in the sign of Aries. I'll have a lot more to say about this as we move forward in the weeks and months ahead, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. But suffice it to say, for right now, for all of us, there may be sort of an automatic love, if you will, right? Venus in Pisces is very much about seeing what you want, and it can also be about, you love what you love and you don't need to understand it. You just know what you feel and you're going to go for it. And there's also a love for sacrifice. Those who sacrifice are seen to be the most loving and the most lovable. And we have this idea collectively that to love is to sacrifice. However, Venus is going to move into a cardinal sign, move into the sign of Aries. And that is a sign that has to do with initiative, what you feel and acting on it, doesn't matter how impulsive. And it has to do with love of those who are particularly spontaneous and those who behave in ways that are maybe a little bit aggressive, a little bit strong, those who allow themselves to be carried away with passion. So what does that mean? What does that look like? And what is good about it or not good about it? What is lovable about it and not? These are going to be some of the things that we are considering. Now, what we love ultimately is also what we as a collective are paying the most attention to. And whatever it is that we do find ourselves paying attention to is going to be something that we're going to be able to contemplate, particularly with this Venus retrograde cycle. Do you love it? Do I love it? What am I paying my most attention to? How does it express love or not? And where we are not feeling that love, we will be willing to admit it to ourselves and be willing to make some very powerful changes as a result. Now, one thing I do want to say with Venus retrograde, if you happen to meet somebody this week, wonderful, okay? Things may not be as they seem. Of course, in retrospect, sometimes they end up better than they appeared at first. So it's really important now to just pay attention to what's happening, and particularly if you're open to meeting someone new, to learning about love, pay attention to what's taking place in your life, because it may be that someone shows up. It may be that you don't have that big a reaction at first, and it may be further down the road that passions really start to increase and come very much to the surface. With this energy, it is also possible to meet that person that you think this is it, this is the one, and it ends up being very different in the long term. Remember, yes, things may not be what you think, but they could actually be a whole lot better. So have faith and understand that this is a journey that all of us are on. What do we love as a collective? How do we define love as a collective? And what now are we going to give our love to? Truly beautiful endeavors to consider as the goddess of love is preparing to be especially close to the earth. lots of passion, lots of desire to connect with others in a meaningful way. And that desire alone ensures that each of us in our own individual lives manifests just what we desire. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It means so much. So let me share with you, first of all, thank you so much to everybody out there for the amazing support that Astro Fabulous Superstar has been getting. I'm so very grateful for it. Of course, you can learn more, astrofabulous.com, expanded horoscopes per sign. Just like you see the monthly videos on my channel, you get that every single week for your sign. It's getting lots of positive feedback. We just opened up a whole new forum where people can actually share more of their stories and really be part of nurturing each other's drive and each other's motivation towards greater love and greater wisdom. So I'm really grateful for that. I think I want to share something a little bit personal now. I might edit this out because I've actually tried to share something like this for the last 2 weeks. And I end up editing it out because, as you may know, I am somebody who's quite private. Like, I kind of like the fact that my work doesn't involve me. I don't have to talk about myself. I really love that. I love that I get to be of service to others, that I get to be connected to a sense of mission and to share from that space, to empower people spiritually. And, you know, as I share, it's all about affirming greater love and greater wisdom in the world. Now, recently, those of you who watch me regularly, you may know, you may remember, very recently, I lost my voice. I lost my voice for a full 3 weeks. And I still did these weekly overviews, right? I still really wanted to come through, and I know I drugged myself and took lots of lozenges and took lots of breaks to do those. And even though at first, when it first came up, I was really scared because it is like my busiest time of the year. And of course, I care so much about what I share and about putting this forward into the world, affirming love and wisdom into the world. I care so much about that. So it was really scary at first. And then I got kind of mad. And then I kind of, like you do at the universe, how dare you? And then I decided, it didn't take me that long to sort of get to this place where I was like, okay, what if this was wise? What if this was loving? What if something good is happening here? And so, of course, I got a chance to meditate on it. I didn't really have a choice. And it felt a lot like the universe sort of said to me, okay, listen to yourself. Stop talking, listen. And there are a few very interesting contemplations and realizations that did come up for me at that time. I've tried to share a little bit here and there, as much as feels right for me, as much as feels safe for me. I have shared a little bit about my journey, and I'll tell you, like, I really realized that for the last year and a half, it's been all this throat chakra stuff. So if you know about throat chakra, you know that that's an energy center that has to do with the throat. And it represents change. It represents living your truth and speaking your truth. And it represents really being the agent, advocating on your own behalf and being an agent for your own creativity and where it is that your heart desires to take you. So about a year and a half ago, I started having throat chakra issues, as I call it. And it started at first, again, getting a little personal here, don't know if it'll stay in the video. It started at first with what turned out to be a thyroid condition. And it took a really long time to diagnose properly. And then it took a long time to find that right balance of supplements and natural replacements and things. And I'm really grateful to say that that has been healing, and that's been really amazing. And so as soon as that happened, as soon as the right balance and the pieces came in together, I started having problems with my teeth. And it culminated fully in having 2 surgeries in my mouth over the course of just like 2 days. And then that healed. And then not long after that, my voice, of course, went away. And that was very powerful for me. And I know that a lot of friends and fans out there have given a lot of love, and I appreciate it. And a lot of people have sent me like information about what that could mean on a, on a spiritual level, on a symbolic level. And I really appreciate that too. But I think, like symbols, there tends to be a sort of a personal understanding of that, a personal connotation to that. And for me, I realized after having no choice but to be silent, after having no choice but to be still, I realized that a lot of this throat chakra stuff for me had to do with not listening to myself. That's just really what it came down to, is not honoring myself, not listening to myself, not speaking of the things that are my truth and insisting on them. So I'll tell you, it was about a year and a half ago. I remember. Yeah, it must have been a good year and a half ago now. Maybe a little longer, actually, but definitely less than 2 years ago. I remember at the time I was working with somebody who was helping me out, and I said that I wanted to start now what is called the Superstar service. At the time I was talking about like a community and a safe space and doing expanded horoscopes and things. And I allowed myself to get talked out of it. I was, talked out of it. Okay. I brought it up again. I allowed myself to be talked out of it. I brought it up again to somebody else and here and there. And I guess I just paid attention to those voices that said, not now, not enough, and so on. And in the process, I stopped listening to myself. And it may not show so much to a lot of people because my work is really, it's really a love for me. It really gives me purpose. It is so meaningful to me. And I know that you all are a part of that, certainly, and I thank you for that. But it doesn't always show. Like I know when I'm dealing with my stuff, I deal with it in my own space, in my own time. But when I'm here, I'm of service to others, and it is very meaningful to me. But then my stuff, what's going on with me, doesn't really show, doesn't really shine through. And so over the course of this period of time, and especially over the course of the last year and a half, it was really me feeling very strongly that I wanted to do this and then not actually honoring that. And that's the whole point of why I do this. Like again, I know I keep saying it. I'm surprised I'm sharing this. And again, it may not end up in the final video, but for the first 7 years of my work, it just really was about sacrifice. It was just everything, all I had just went into this work that you see. And it, of course, because it was meaningful to me, and it remains meaningful to me. And it was a labor of love. But the point of it, the reason that I started it and to do it, was because I wanted to trust and honor my creative vision and my creative voice. And I didn't realize that I wasn't as conscious of it, but I had stopped listening to that in the last little while. And so I remember, like way back, I think I mentioned this, like way back, when I first started this, NadiyaShah.com, this whole thing, I started with a subscription service. And I did that. It was an audio service, but then I was getting really busy and I was, in university and stuff. So I ended up closing that and knowing that I would come back to that one day. And then when I finished university, I remember I wrote a business plan, right? I had this whole business plan laid out and I articulated it. And part of that vision that I articulated in this included some sort of a dedicated service where people could come and get expanded horoscopes. And so that was always there. It was always part of the vision. And then something happened. I'll tell you what happened. And it was here on YouTube. And I'll tell you, I love YouTube. I am not going anywhere. YouTube has blessed my life. You all have blessed my life. I am going to be here. I'm going to be talking about the sky, celebrating the sky with you. But I also know that YouTube, it just really opens you up to the world. And it's just the way it is, right? And that's okay. And it's brought in a lot of blessings by being open to the world. But what happened was, it happened right right at the time that the election happened, and right at that same time I had had these dental surgeries, and I was really looped up at the time, but I did what I do, and I found fulfillment in that. And so what happened was, I remember in the days that followed, of course people comment, they could say whatever they want, no problem. But what bothered me, one thing that did bug me quite a bit actually, was that I saw people like getting into this, right? They were getting into this mode, like arguing with each other or whatever. I don't think there's anything as pointless in the universe as getting into a debate with somebody on YouTube in the comment section. I mean, it is such a waste of energy. But not only that, when I saw that, my feeling was, I'm not here for this. Like, that's not why I do what I do. And I know I'm not responsible for how other people choose to react and what other people choose to share. Whatever energy you need to ride as part of your journey towards greater love and greater wisdom, that's great. But that's not what I'm here for. That's not why I do what I do. And that bothered me. It did bother me to see people arguing on my page. Again, not being responsible for it, but also having the chance to really think about and reflect, what is my intention? What am I doing here? What do I want to facilitate? What do I want to be part of? Because whatever that commenting is, right? Whatever that YouTube exchange that people get into all the time, every day, every second of the day, all over YouTube, whatever that is, I don't think it puts anything good into the world. I think that it is the antithesis of love and wisdom. You sit there and you're feeling this emotions and you're articulating it and it's coming out through your fingers. It is the absolute worst thing that we can do towards moving towards greater love and greater wisdom in our own lives, certainly, but also for the collective as well, because the energy that we dwell in is how it is that we end up with whatever our lives are. And we can definitely see this on a collective level. The energy we dwelled in, the fear we dwelled in, the outrage we dwelled in has led us to this place now where we are as a collective. And we have participated in that, every single one of us. And I'm not here to indulge that. That's not why I do what I do. And that was a sort of a turning point for me on a soul level, on a spiritual level, but I didn't identify it clearly as such at the time. And so it really was when I lost my voice that I had no choice. For the first few days I had a fever, so I was just in bed completely silent. And I remember my cousin came to visit me in Cancun, which was the first family ever to visit me in Cancun in 4 years. And I had no voice. I was like, it was really funny actually. But it was shocking to me and it was scary to me that I could not express myself, because it's always been so second nature to me. So while I was sick and while I was in that space, I realized that, this is something that has to happen. This is something, a dedicated space, a safe space for people to share, to encourage each other, is something that has to happen. And I started it. I just initiated it. I contacted somebody. I said, let's do this and whatever. It's still building, right? But I knew that if I didn't do it, it would keep being stayed off. I would keep having problems with my throat chakra, but this had to happen. So Astro Fabulous Superstar, that superstar actually came to me while I had no choice but to meditate and contemplate and listen to myself. That is when it came. That is when the whole idea of how it would look and what I wanted it to be like and everything, it came. That was not part of the original vision. It was not part of the original vision to have comments and a forum and a place for exchange. But I really care about creating a safe space. That matters to me. I want people to be able to come together with my sharing and what I do to be part of affirming greater love and greater wisdom in the world. And I don't think that happens when you indulge those other energies. And so I started, really excited about it. And what I saw, of course, lots of people are joining, and I'm really grateful for that. Right now, because we're starting out, there is a discount. That discount is set to expire on January 31st. So do have a look at that. But basically, half price for the first people who are joining. If you sign up at the annual rate, you get it for half price. That price is locked in for you, but in exchange, you're giving me feedback. In exchange, you are letting me know what could be better, or you're letting me know what it is that you would love to see more of or not, how it is that this experience can improve for you. You are allowing this experience to grow into what it is that it is ultimately meant to be. It's not exactly that just yet, but right now you do get the expanded horoscopes every week for your sign, and you get the previous horoscopes as well, at least going back a week or two, and you get now the community. We had the comment section, which was great, lots of encouragement there, and now we have the forum as well, and we're still working on incorporating more and more of your ideas to make this something, evolve it, and really have it be the evolution of Astro Fabulous. And you know, the other day, literally just the other day, somebody on the Superstar site, one of the superstars actually said, it's different here. It's so much more peaceful. And I said, that is exactly what I wanted. That was exactly what I was going for. Now, as I've been observing, I think that there is some fear being expressed by some people out there. And so I want to say, I love YouTube. I love what YouTube has blessed me with. And I'll share with you, like, I know that YouTube has really been very important in my life. Very recently, it was almost 2 years ago, French Vanity Fair created a list of 12 people. They called it a list Nostradamus 2.0. And it was a collection of, they called it astrologers, but it included mediums and psychics. And it was basically a collection of people alive today as part of the 21st century who have contributed to the field of astrology as part of the collective in really unique ways, and in ways that have made a positive impact that helped them to be leaders within the field. And these were very prestigious names, like people that I have looked up to, and I've read their books for a long time. And within that list, I was there. And I was chosen as a pioneer in video astrology. And I've been doing YouTube now for over 8 years. I know that that designation, that honor really, would not have happened had I not been on YouTube. It really was YouTube that facilitated that honor. And I also know that YouTube created this whole amazing world and reality for me that would not have existed otherwise. I am not going anywhere. There's been fear that I'm leaving or something's being taken away. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here to celebrate the sky with you. With the horoscopes, my plan right now is to work on 2017 videos. As you know, like I said, my voice was gone. I still have, like, you know, little hacking moments, I call them, and that you don't see because I edit those out. But I still have those. I still have to step in gently with my workload. But for now, the 2017 videos are being worked on, and the monthly videos will return to YouTube, and the 2017 videos looking at the year ahead. I'm hoping to have that up for you within the next 2 weeks. And the monthly videos that are on YouTube will be returned to, will be available starting for the month of March. So please do have a look out for that. I'm grateful to be some small part of your sacred journey. I would love for you to join me and be a superstar. I would absolutely love that. I welcome every single superstar out there, and to be part of creating this amazing community with me. I think it'll be a great adventure. And so now I'm going to ask you. You come here every week. You come here to listen to my interpretation of the sky. And to me, that means that you trust me. And so I'm going to ask you, like, do you trust me? Do you trust that my intuition is leading us somewhere that is going to be good, that is going to be powerful, that is going to be part of creating and putting love and wisdom into the world, that is going to be part of creating an experience for you that is peaceful, that is affirming, that allows you to indulge in energy that can only bring good things about for all of us as a collective and individually as well. I hope that the answer would be yes, and I would love for you to join me. But again, I'm not going anywhere. I am for you. I am really, this work has been everything to me. It really has. And this time and your trust has been everything to me. And so if you feel like YouTube is it for you, awesome. We will stay connected. No fear around that. But if you feel like there's something more, and if you feel like you can trust my intuition, that you can trust that I'm going to lead us somewhere good, somewhere great, somewhere that you want to be, then I hope that you will join me and be one of my superstars, but you will always, always be my fabulous friend and my fabulous fan. And I thank you so much for that. There we go. Again, I don't know if this is going to end up in the video. Okay. So yes, astrofabulous.com. I hope you will join me. It's amazing so far, and I'm really grateful for it. I love the interaction, and people are really responding well to the content, and that's really a lot of what it's about. That's what's bringing us together, the content, the expanded horoscopes, and there's all kinds of amazing things coming up ahead that I'm really excited about, and I will talk about and announce as we go forward from there. So it's astrofabulous.com, or just stay with me here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel where you are right now. Next up, synchronicityuniversity.com. So Synchronicity University is back with the equinox event, the spring equinox event. It is going to be a seminar marathon, 6 seminars over 3 days, plus a special equinox surprise event, all taking place online. If you register earlier, if you register now, you get to be a part of creating the curriculum. Whatever you want to learn, you tell me what it is that you want to learn, and I will design a program. I will design classes based on what those first people who are registering want to learn. And if you sign up now, in addition to choosing what we're going to learn, you also get 2 classes free. So I hope that you will join me earlier. But if you'd rather wait to see what classes are going to be offered, to pick and choose the best classes for you in your learning journey, that list will be out March 1st. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's the weekend of March 17, 18, and 19. 2 classes a day. Each class will be about 2 hours long. I say 90 minutes, but it ends up going longer because it's so much fun. And we're really going to enjoy ourselves, and an amazing equinox event as well. So I hope that you'll join me at synchronicityuniversity.com. Thank you so much to the people already registering, and the previous classes that I've already done as part of the October series and the August series that took place before then. Those classes are available. Full video downloads are available for those on my website, nadiyashah.com or synchronicityuniversity.com. And also, these classes will also be available as full video downloads if you join us, but you want to review. If you can't join us live, but you want to know, but you want to be a part of this, those full video classes will be available to you as well. I am right now still in Vancouver. I love it. I love Vancouver so much. I've been posting pictures, some pictures of Vancouver on my Instagram, Nadiya_Shah. I hope that you're enjoying those. And it feels good to be home. It feels right to be right here, right now. I'm really loving it. And of course, to be right here, right now with you on YouTube. I'm really loving it as well. And I can't say it enough. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be some part of your sacred journey. So thank you for that absolute privilege. And thank you for celebrating your lives and celebrating the sky with me. Okay, that's about as personal as it's going to get for a good while. So now we're going to leave that alone. And I'm sending you guys very big astro hugs. Okay, it'll be a great week. Enjoy.